Day 7 of the Australian Open marked another intense chapter in Melbourne, with third-round action delivering physical battles, momentum swings, and a standout upset that reshaped part of the men's draw. As the tournament moves into its second week, the matches are becoming heavier both mentally and physically, and that was clear across the courts today. Jannik Sinner had to dig deeper than expected to book his place in the fourth round, defeating American Spizzirri in 4 sets. The Italian endured a difficult start, losing the opening set and visibly struggling with the extreme heat. His energy dipped early, and Spizzirri took advantage, playing freely and capitalizing on Sinner's slower movement. However, once Sinner found his footing, the match shifted dramatically. He raised his intensity, cleaned up his errors, and began dominating from the baseline with his trademark depth and pace. From the second set onward, it was largely one-way traffic as Sinner controlled rallies and managed the conditions expertly to close out a strong recovery win. Novak Djokovic continued his smooth run in Melbourne with a straight sets victory over Botic van de Zandschulp. The Serbian was in full control throughout, dictating play with depth and precision while keeping errors to a minimum. Van de Zandschulp competed well but struggled to break through Djokovic's defense and consistency. It was another calm, authoritative performance that underlined Novak's growing rhythm as the tournament heads deeper. One of the toughest matches of the day came from Lorenzo Musetti, who survived a 5-set marathon against Thomas Maček. It was a true test of endurance and composure, with both players trading momentum throughout the match. Maček pushed Musetti relentlessly with his aggression and physicality, but the Italian stayed patient, mixing his elegant shot-making with grit when needed. In the deciding set, Musetti found another gear, trusting his variety and touch to wear. Maček down. It was a hard-earned victory that shows Musetti's growing maturity in long Grand Slam battles. Ben Shelton continued his impressive run with a straight sets win over Valentin Vachereau. While Vachereau deserves credit for putting together a strong tournament and navigating earlier rounds confidently, the gap in power and experience was evident here. Shelton's serve and forehand dictated the match from the start, and he never allowed his opponent to settle. It was a controlled, efficient performance that reinforces Shelton's status as one of the most dangerous players left in the draw. Taylor Fritz ended Stan Wawrinka's inspiring run with a 4-set victory. At 41 years old, Wawrinka produced a remarkable week of tennis, showing flashes of his vintage shot-making and competitive fire. Ultimately, Fritz's consistency, physicality, and serving proved too much, but Wawrinka leaves Melbourne with plenty of positives. Casper Ruud moved into the next round with a 4-set win over Marin Cilic in what was a high-quality physical match. Both players brought heavy hitting and experience, but Ruud's consistency and patience from the baseline made the difference over time. It was a strong statement from the Norwegian, who remains fully locked in despite the personal milestone approaching, with his wife expected to give birth soon. Ruud stays alive in Melbourne, balancing focus, pressure, and motivation beautifully. The upset of the day came as Luciano Darderi stunned Karen Khachanov in 4 sets. The Italian played fearless tennis, matching Khachanov's power and often outworking him in longer exchanges. Darderi's movement and shot tolerance frustrated the Russian, who struggled to impose his usual physical dominance. As the match wore on, Darderi grew in confidence, taking control of key moments and closing out a huge win. Reaching the 4th round of a Grand Slam represents a major milestone in his career. Jakub Mensik continued his breakout run in Melbourne with a straight sets win over Quinn, booking his place in the 4th round of the Australian Open for the first time in his career. The young Czech played with confidence and control, handling the moment impressively and dictating play throughout the match. The reward is a massive test ahead, as Mensik is now set to face Novak Djokovic in what will be the biggest match of his career so far. On the women's side, Madison Keys delivered a strong performance to defeat Karolina Pliskova in straight sets. Keys was aggressive from the baseline, serving well and stepping inside the court to finish points early. Pliskova had flashes of her best tennis, but Keys consistently applied pressure and kept control of the match, showing why she remains a serious contender in Melbourne. Iga Swiatek survived a tricky three-set battle against Anna Kalinskaya in a match marked by swings and inconsistency from both players. The world number 2 struggled at times to find rhythm, while Kalinskaya mixed strong aggression with patches of errors. Despite the irregular nature of the contest, Swiatek stayed mentally tough, raised her level in the decisive moments, and eventually pulled away to secure her place in the next round. Elena Rybakina moved through comfortably with a straight sets win over Valentova. The Kazakh was dominant from the start, serving with authority and controlling rallies with her flat, powerful ground strokes. Valentova had few chances to apply pressure as Rybakina dictated the tempo throughout. It was a routine, efficient performance that keeps Rybakina firmly on course as the tournament enters a more demanding stage. Jessica Pegula also moved smoothly into the next round with a comfortable straight sets win over Selekmateva. Pegula's consistency and tactical discipline were on full display as she absorbed pace, redirected the ball with precision, and rarely gave away cheap points. It was a clean professional outing that keeps her firmly on track. Amanda Anisimova continued her strong form as well, defeating Peyton Stearns in straight sets. Anisimova's timing and power off both wings made the difference, allowing her to dictate play and close points decisively. She stayed composed throughout and never let the match drift, reinforcing the sense that she is quietly building momentum in this tournament. Xinyu Wang delivered one of the biggest surprises of the day, knocking out Linda Noskova and continuing an excellent week for the Chinese player. Wang played with confidence and composure, taking the initiative in rallies and refusing to let Noskova dictate with her power. It's a breakthrough run that underlines her growing presence on the tour. Madison Inglis advanced by walkover, with Naomi Osaka unable to take the court. Inglis moves into the next round without playing, while Osaka's tournament comes to an early end due to the withdrawal. Overall, Day 7 highlighted the physical demands of the Australian Open as players battled heat, long matches, and rising pressure, with established names finding ways through tough tests and new faces breaking through with statement wins. The tournament continues to open up in intriguing ways. As the fourth round approaches, the margins are getting smaller, and every performance now carries real weight. That's what Day 7 of the Australian Open delivered. If you enjoy the summary, leave a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.